Thank you and welcome to our presentation from our quite interesting or challenging project. It means we are talking about XR-supported training programs for improved safety. Now it works. What's the Brochi as our presenter introduced us? We are the only union in Austria who represents all the workers in the production industry. So for the whole manufacturing sector. The working jobs are changing with digitalization in our industries, in our companies, and therefore the challenges are getting bigger and more exciting. Let's call it this one. We are, as a union, the co-founder of the platform Industry 0.0. What is it? It's a platform where employers and employees talk together about changing the industry, the industrial production in the way of Industry 4.0. And our main focus are the workers in the facilities, in the working facilities, and therefore in all their dimensions they are working there, especially workplace safety. And here we come to our partner, and Benjamin, please tell us who you are.
Thank you very much for the introduction. We are partnering up in this project together with Brochi. I'm from MindConsole. As introduced, I'm there as a learning specialist, so my focus is mainly on getting the learner to a specific learning outcome or achievement. And our origins are in visual concepts, so in animation, 3D work, and so on. And in the past few years, we kind of advanced this with XR Console. It's a brand of ours where we focus on training environments in XR, so not specific VR or AR or MR, we just do it all. And yeah, I'll hand over to Kerstin again so she can introduce you to the project and to the case study.
As you can, as we do it in the project as well, we provide the theoretical background and tell what is happening in the companies, and our partner is providing us with the technical skills. We get the money from the Chamber of Labor, from AK Wien. They had a huge financing project called Digifonds, where they gave money to promising projects for improving the workplaces or working environments. We as a ProG are a partner. MindConsole, you actually, we introduced you, and the BFE is our educational partner. The BFE provides trainings for getting the forklift licenses. You have to make a license or do a license, and the BFE is one of the partners where you can do that, and they work with us together, and especially an Austrian unicorn, let's call it this way, is the AUVA. The AUVA, I actually Googled it today. It's the Austrian Workers' Compensation Board. It's something like a social insurance for occupational risks. So if you have an accident at your workplace, they will provide the money for your health. They will provide you with health insurance and so on. So these are the partners who work together on this project, Start Train XR. Why did we do that? The primary causes of accidents in companies, just with forklifts, they call it industrial trucks. We were talking normally on about forklifts, were in 2021 1,096 accidents. Just with that. So. And we have the problem: how do we train all these incidents, or how can we prevent these incidents? Then we had a look what kind of incidents are happening. There's a quite technical terms, and I was wondering too, what are Bewegung des Körpers ohne körperliche Belastung in German. So what does it mean? Movement of the body without something heavy. It's about stumbling out of the forklift, or around or over the forklift or something on the forklift, without carrying anything in your hands. The second, so you see 270 accidents just because of that. Movement with carrying something, so you stumble around with something around the forklift, or while loading up something on the forklift, something happens. 119 accidents in 2021. Something tears, breaks, slides, falls, collapses, tips over, leaks, runs over, evaporates. 23 accidents. And another huge one, losing control over machines, means of transport, or the load itself. 582 accidents. And the biggest problem of this is there are a few deadly ones as well. So it's quite challenging working in this environment or with these forklifts. So every worker has to have a driving license for driving a forklift. If you don't have it, you're not allowed to drive one in a company. And the company itself has to make a brief safety briefing instruction. So they have to tell you what to look around about, how it works, what's dangerous in the companies, and so on. But they do it in German mostly. And the most drivers with forklifts are not German-speaking natives. So the understanding or the competence of the workforce is most of the times quite insufficient, and therefore it's quite hard to understand the safety instructions. There is limited training in practical skills for handling dangerous situations. Especially dangerous situations aren't trained at all. How can you do that? You can't roll over your colleague while the training. I mean, you can, but for sure just once. And the environment where you do your training is not like a company. It's not that stressful. You don't have to take your orders in special times and so on. So the current training and education, you have online training only in German, on-site training only while obtaining the driver's license. The only on-site training is held in German with a limited resource of forklifts and trainers. So for a class of 20 people, you have 2 forklifts and 1 trainer. No simulations of dangerous situations because of safety reasons, and limited passages per training participants. Okay, so what should we do about that? Our approach? For sure, no, it's the wrong. This is not your next forklift simulator, because driving a forklift, learning to drive a forklift, you have to drive a forklift, not put on an XR glass. So our approach was, Benjamin?
Yes, thank you very much. So, as I said before, as a learning specialist, we focus specifically on how the learner achieves his or her goal. How do we get people to actually lower chances of getting having an accident with the forklift or anything like that. So I don't know if anybody is familiar with experiential learning frameworks. For our learning environments, not just this one, but all the others, we usually use some kind of framework. This is adapted one from Kolb. It is quite old now, 1984 it was first published, but still the basics of it is the monumental base of any experience that you make, and experience-based learning, if you want to say so. So if you try to learn something new, you have experience with something. For example, the forklift or this dangerous situation that happened. And based on that, you kind of circle around and reflect on that, and when the next time comes where you can actually use this skill or this knowledge, you improve yourself. And in the middle there, you see this success arrow that points up, because this is kind of a spiral, not a circle, so it spirals up, 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 and with each iteration you get better and better. So if we look now as what we did on the approach-wise, like the XR training. So first of all, XR at the moment for this case offers the best cost-benefit ratio. Also, a VR headset can be used anywhere. Forklift trainings, we have with the partner with us, the BFE, for example, you have to go there, do your training. With VR headsets, you can just put them in any industry area to train people. You can even place specific 3D data of the industry hall, etc., for the trainees to be just in their natural environment and train there where they usually work. With experiential learning and specific learning outcomes, there also come specific learner needs. So XR as a technology offers specific speed of learning. You can really narrow it down to individuals, but at the end, everybody has to meet a certain goal. And of course, in industry areas, we have the problem that all these areas are in kind of needs to produce maybe 24 hours a day. So they're usually blocked if you have a training on site. And that's again a reason where XR can help, because you just take the headset, go in some room, make a training, and yeah, you're pretty much done with that. And you don't block any real workspaces. And we shift from more a knowledge-based training, where what's actually happening right now with the e-learning module and some really limited practical training, to a more competence-orientated training, where you also shift kind of this pre-practical training to another platform. So we shifted to VR, and that enables us to have this time with the real forklift, to have more quality for the trainees. Sorry. So what's the actual solution with this forklift trainer? We focused on perception, decision-making, and acting. As Kerstin said before, we don't want the next forklift simulator. So we don't want to develop a driving simulator where you sit in, you have your steering wheel, and you go around. Because that's something you have to learn, like with the driving license, etc. But the things that make the accidents actually are these dangerous goods, how to actually see where are blind spots of the forklift, all those things. So with the project, we have a requirement phase where we actually defined modules for the training. Of course, there has to be some 3D objects and assets, the forklift, this industry hall, and so on. We have development phase and user testing, and then the implementation. We'll go over that a little bit later on. So what are the actual modules? You have a tutorial, of course. So we have to get the learner to know the learning environment. So they have to get introduced to how do they operate the forklift, how do they operate the environment as well. And then, Kerstin said it before, the important part, the training is only in German currently. And without training, it will be possible to see like the letters and the words in a specific language, but also hear the German wording. So even if you've...
Sorry, the
Austrian
wording.
Yeah, might be differences between German and Austria. And, yeah, you actually hear the right term that a colleague might say to you. So you can connect your understanding of your own language with the wordings that I might say to you during your shift or something like that. And you can switch those. So trainees can just change them. You will see that later. And the next module is how to start up the forklift, how to check it, what do I have to do before I get in, before I start my shift. What about the battery, material, and so on. And then another important part are dangerous goods. So how do I actually operate the forklift without overseeing a blind spot, still having an overview where I am, how to move it, and so on. Also, co-workers, like Kerstin said before, is a big point. And at the end of the day, all the potential hazards that are in this working area, how to spot them, and also have this kind of setup where you see certain mistakes or potential hazards in the area, and you have to spot them. So you actually get trained to see them before you actually start your forklift shift. So we're still kind of in the phase of producing the final application. So I just have a few pictures so you can see what's actually going on at the moment. So this is the forklift. And of course, this is not the final position where it will be in the environment. It's just for you guys, so you have a little bit of assets and how it will look. But in the back there, you see some warning signs. You see the battery station of the forklift. So also this handling is important for all the trainees. So the forklift will have some interactions where you can actually open it, see the battery pack, and so on. And of course, there has to be some kind of environment where all this will be happening, and that's actually, or this will be this one. So we try to focus really on those basics, that how to interact with the forklift, how to spot stuff, how to actually get those safety issues into a VR environment before they even get into a real environment where these could be potentially critical to them or to co-workers, etc. And yeah, for the last part, because with all those applications, I think it's always important to think a little bit further, and how will this be implemented in the current working environment, industry, and so on. So the last few words I'll hand over to Kerstin again.
I hope now you know everything about what we do and how it will look like. But how we will bring these devices to the forklift drivers. We have, as we said, our training facility partner, the BFE, they will use the VR glasses within their training for getting the license. And as a trade union, we provide for our shop stewards in the companies VR glasses, and they can lend them to their drivers. So they can take it with them home and try it at home in a safe environment. Nobody has to say, I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't understand the safety issues, because if I say that, maybe I don't get the job. And therefore, you can train it by yourself at home in a safe environment. Nobody has a problem with telling somebody I can't understand or can't do that. And good news for all of you, when the solution is ready, it will be available for everyone for free, because it's financed by the Chamber of Labor. So everybody can use it. I mean, you have to look at our ProG logo and the other logos, but otherwise it's for free. So everybody can use it. And at last, we will show you how you move around and how in the facility, and how you can change the languages and so on. There are 5 languages, from Arabic to Turkey to Serbian language and so on. So you can see all the devices for the forklift. You can change them. You have to change them. You have to load up your device. You can change the language quite easily, and then you show your finger to the device and get the name in that language to read, and you will hear it in Austrian, because, sorry, but nobody's speaking quite proper German in a working environment. Therefore, we said we have to use the words the workers are using. You laugh now, but nobody will understand the Staplergabel because it's called Gober. If you have further questions, feel free to contact us, or we are just in time, I see.
We are indeed.
You're ready for questions.
We are. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kerstin, Benjamin. Thank you for sharing this work. Really inspiring and breaking through a lot of new creative paradigms. So, any questions, thoughts, remarks? Yes. And we didn't get a round of applause. Come on, wake up, everyone. Let's get some energy going on here. Yes.
Thanks very much for the presentation, and it's really, really interesting. I was going to ask about measurement outcome. Like, how do you measure the outcome of the training? Would it be, by, just like, what would be a measurable outcome for you from this?
Per year, 1 accident less. I think you can't measure it, but you can measure: is it do the workers use it? What do they say about it? We will give them. We have 2 companies who will check our progress. Have to have a look on it. Is it useful or not? And then we can work on it. And with the AUVA, they know what's happening. They get to. They know all the accidents, and therefore we hope our goal is 1 less accident per year.
And maybe I'll add on that the predictor for the actually courses would be if the learners actually have a better base knowledge when they come to the hands-on training. So if you use it as a pre-learning application, as it is planned, and you actually can then say, learners now learn quicker, understand faster how things work, what are the blind spots, and so on. So that could be also how you could measure it on this data, and of course the accidents. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Okay. I'm off there. Not riding a forklift, but smoothly sliding through the floor. Just like that.
Be careful of the blind spots.
Meets XR education coming soon.
Thank you very much. Also in the same direction as the question has been before. I mean, you said that the people are going through certain problem situations. So, I mean, do you get also the information what they do, and do you consider that also already as a learning outcome perhaps? Because it could be that people have to identify dangerous situations or objects whatsoever. And is that already a learning outcome you would consider as a success of your application?
So you mean if we measure, for example, a trainee makes mistakes in the training, and use that as an outcome? Of course, I mean VR environments are always kind of based on some feedback system. At least that's our approach. So trainees either get instant feedback on that was wrong or that was right, or we have like a little scenario going on where they at the end get a little list with that was your mistakes, you did good on that, and so on. So if we would set specific time markers or have user profiles for the trainees, of course this could also be a certain feedback system and also measurement outcome. Yeah.
Okay, perhaps a last question or comment? Yes.
Thank you very much for presenting this example. It sounds really exciting, although I'm not a forklift driver. However, I'm interested in experiential learning, creating experiential learning experience, and getting a sense of the pricing. Is it possible to talk about the price? What does it cost to create such an application with the complexity of having multiple languages and feedback loops?
Without telling you what we pay for Mind Console, because that's our main cost factor. We work for free for this project. The AUVA is working for free. The BFE is just getting the classes. So all in all, we just have the cost for programming all these things, and that's it. So, and for the classes, yeah. But we have quite a good company we work with, and they are not that expensive, I can tell you, but really experienced. Hopefully I don't crushed your pricing today.
Not revealing the money stuff. Thank you so much. That would be it, I would think. Thank you so much for your presentation. I look forward to see what comes up next. Perhaps you create something for cars. I'm 35, I have no driver's license.
For how do you call? For chainsaws. Actually, we have something for training, working with chainsaws. Then we have a combination
of XR education, training, Texas Massacre, and chainsaw. Whatever. Let's not keep it that way. Thank you so much. Another round of applause.